Guys, Hyph here with a video tutorial of the early game laning phase of Nasus. This video is to supplement my Nasus guide on leaguecraft.com. So if you have any questions about items, skill builds, runes, masteries, any questions you might have about Nasus, you can check that out, find all the answers you're looking for there. What I want to show you in this video is basically tactics to effectively farm up your Siphon Strike, your Q spell, how to control a lane with Spirit Fire, how to harass and to keep from being harassed, basically to how to farm up as much gold as possible while taking as little damage as possible. In this game I'm laning with a Taric, and I actually just recently discovered this combo, and I'm liking it a lot. You can put out some pretty good early burst damage, and really keep your enemies at bay, or even take them out early on for a first blood. I start out here with a Doran shield and a health pot. This allows me to stay in the lane for an extended period of time because of the regen and the armor that it provides me. I start with the Q skill to start maxing up my Siphon Strike as early as possible. After Q, I'm going to get the Spirit Fire, and I'll actually focus on maxing Spirit Fire first, although I won't use it that often, just enough to keep the enemies off the tower or to harass, or if I want to push, then I can just spam away with it. And then at level 3 or 4, I'll grab one rank of Wither for a slow to try to gank or as an escape, whatever the situation might be. As you can see here, when I use my Siphon Strike, one thing you don't want to do is hit Q and then run around waving your staff in the air with it glowing, letting everybody know, hey, I'm trying to get a last hit on my Siphon Strike. What you want to do is farm as normal, get last hits, but whenever your Siphon Strike is up, just hit the Q right before you hit the creep. That way they don't have any type of indication that you're trying to farm your Q, and they won't try to put extra effort into harassing you back and denying you.
2v1 with no masteries.
This combo that we're using here actually worked out pretty well. If you see that there, I drop Spirit Fire, he stuns, shatters, and I Siphon Strike. Like I said, that's a great combo that I just discovered. This playing with Reverend here, who's a guy that I've done a couple of pre-mates with. He's a great player. Most of the guys in this game I've played with a few times before. It's just a bunch of random guys that I've run some pre-mates with. They're all good players. If you notice here, we're able to pretty effectively keep these guys at bay while taking very minimal damage, and you can do that a lot with Nasus and a bunch of different champion combinations, just because of that Spirit Fire skill that's able to keep enemy champions at bay and farm minions very easily. And that's the main reason why Nasus is also a very good 1v2 lane choice. I actually prefer that. In most games where I run a 1v2, I'm able to farm up real well, get a level experience, and that really helps out later on in the game for several reasons. One, because the earlier you get to 6, you can use your ultimate on the golem. And further on in the game, if you've got a solo lane, once you get to 11 or 12 and you've got your Aegis and your Sheen, you can do a really early Baron, which people will not expect because your enemies won't even be level 10 yet, and you grab some words, throw them down, grab 3 or 4 guys from your team, run over and get Baron, and then you can push up a storm. So there's a lot of advantages to having Nasus in the solo lane. Obviously he's also good with the lane mate. He's got lots of skills that facilitate harassing, and for example that Wither skill, that's one thing that you really don't want to do. You really want to try not to waste your Wither That was a big mistake because it costs 100 mana, and if you're not going to get some good damage out of it, it's just a waste of mana. So be sure to only use that wither if you think it's going to result in some serious damage out of it to your enemy.
Have you got that back up again? Yes, thanks.
Yes, summoner.
So I'm getting close to level 6 here, and like I said earlier, with your level 6 ultimate, you can either go with, if you've got a jungler, you can go get a golem, use your ultimate, and he just stands there and auto attacks, and you can take down the, did I say lizard? I meant dragon. You can take down the dragon pretty fast. Another option, when you're in a lane with a fellow champion, if you have the opportunity when you hit 6, if you don't foresee an easy gank coming up, you can run over to Golem and even just ultimate Golem. With the cooldown reduction that it gives you, your ultimate move it back up in no time, so you won't even miss it. And what this will allow you to do is basically spam away with your Spirit Fire and really push a lane and try to take down the tower pretty early. Golem is really great on Nasus. He's not the first priority in most games for Golem. Some of your casters like Phil or whoever it may be are probably a better choice, but if there is a Golem and your caster's not there, not going to take advantage of it, go ahead and grab it, because it's really useful for team battles with your cooldown reduction and being able to keep from running out of mana in the middle of a team fight, because Nasus without mana is just worthless. Speaking of mana, you'll see a lot of guides that recommend a chalice to keep your mana pool up. I don't get a chalice. If you spec correctly through runes and masteries, you'll have no problem with mana regen. You can check out the guide for more details on that, but basically it's I get MP5 per level glyphs, and then I spec up through meditate in the utility tree. And obviously here with my lane mate having a mana manipulator, that's helping keep my mana pool up a lot as well. You'll notice some of these attempts that we're making at taking out the enemy champions. While they're not successful, we're not getting the kill, we are causing them to blow cleanse, which sets up for future gank attempts or future bursting attempts there. Probably shouldn't have run in and taken those tower hits. We're playing pretty aggressively. I'm normally pretty passive with Nasus, especially in a 1v2 lane. Oh, see that I'm taking tower hits again. You're usually going to want to just stay back, farm with Spirit Fire, run up and get your last hits as you can. So you see here, Udyr came out of the jungle, popped out, hit their enemy champ. Here I come, I'm going to run in and pop ult, so I'm afraid I'm going to take tower hits, and I'm going to die. We get an easy kill there, back out of tower range, come back in to finish off this tower. As you can see, we had no problem in this game controlling the lane. I was able to farm very well, get some last hits on my Q, took down the tower there. We're at 10 minutes with some champion kills and a tower, and we're going to take this opportunity to run over and grab the dragon. With the three of us, that's no problem. And after this, I believe we outflow run and grab their golem buff for Tarek. So I hope you got some useful information out of this tutorial. And if you have any questions, make sure to head on over to the guide on Leadcraft. It's very thorough and extensive, so it should answer any questions you might have. But if it doesn't, feel free to post a question there and I'll try to get an answer to you. I've got another clip that's kind of a follow-on to this that shows kind of what happens after some good early farming and pushing, and how that kind of snowballs into a pretty easy victory for the team. So if you want to see what happens the rest of this game, be sure to check that out. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something, and stay tuned for more videos.